Good morning, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you for coming out today. Would you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Elizabeth Nicole Wires.
Okay. If you can speak up a little bit louder.
Yes, sorry. My name is Elizabeth Nicole Wires.
Miss Wall, if you'll pull the base of that, grab a hold of the base of that thing, the very bottom. Now pull it towards you. There you go.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. And so how are you related to the parties here today?
I'm not related to Amy, but I'm related to her daughter. So I am Sophie's cousin.
Okay. And so are you the sister of Sophie's father? Is that right?
Sophie's father is my uncle.
Sophie's father is your uncle. Okay. And so have you known Sophie and Miss Hewitt for a while now?
Yes.
How long have you known them?
So when Amy was pregnant with Sophie, that's when I first met her. And so I've known them Sophie's whole life.
Okay. And have you been around Ashton as well, the 4-year-old boy?
Yes, ma'am. Off and on.
Off and on. Okay. And have you been to Miss Hewitt's home?
Yes.
Okay. How often would you go there?
Not very often, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. It just depends on how often I see Sophie that year. Most of the time, I don't usually step inside her home. I usually just go to pick Sophie up.
Okay. So you would pick Sophie up to have some time with her, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So did you maintain a relationship with Sophie?
Yes.
You and her have a good relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have phone calls as well?
Yes.
Okay. And so when was the last time that you went there to Miss Hewitt's home?
I don't know the exact date. I would say it was probably maybe 4 weeks ago, 3
Okay.
or 4 weeks ago.
Okay. Judge, if we could have Miss Wires look at the photos that we entered into the exhibit. I'd like for you to take a look at those photos and see if you could identify them.
All right, guys, buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the messiest custody battles you've ever heard. This case has everything: anger, medical neglect accusations, and a courtroom showdown that gets uglier by the minute. What started as a normal hearing for temporary custody quickly turned into a clash of parenting styles, bitter resentment, and shocking claims. Stick with me, because over the next 25 minutes, we're unpacking every detail of this stormy courtroom drama.
If they're familiar to you.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Do you know who took those photos?
I took the photos of the bathroom, and then I had Sophie take the photos of the rest of the house.
Okay. And were those photos taken just within the past month here?
Yes.
In August? Okay.
Yes.
And so those photos, do they depict what you would usually see in Miss Hewitt's home when you go there?
Yes, ma'am.
Pretty much for how long now? A year, 2 years, 3 years?
I can recall it was probably a couple years back when I delivered a vanity to Miss Hewitt's house for Sophie for Christmas, and the state of her home was still pretty close to this.
Okay.
So it's always been.
Been that way?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And so you had, did you have some concerns about Sophie's welfare here recently in August?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the court about what you know about Sophie's situation at Miss Hewitt's home?
I do know that her mother is very verbally abusive towards her. When I was on maternity leave, I talked to Sophie a lot on the phone, and Ashton was still in Amy's house at that time. And I recall her constantly yelling at Sophie, asking her to take care of Ashton, change Ashton's diapers, prepare food for him, do laundry, clean chores, some regular chores, but mostly asking Sophie to wait on her and Ashton.
Okay. And is this something that would happen whenever you're on a phone call with Sophie?
Yes.
And you would hear Miss Hewitt's voice?
Yes, constantly.
And you're sure that that's her
Yes.
talking to Sophie, commanding Sophie to take care of Ashton's needs, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you ever observe what type of foods that Sophie and Ashton would have at Miss Hewitt's home?
Yes.
And what are they?
So mostly takeout.
So here's the setup. The father wants temporary custody, arguing that the kids aren't safe with their mother. On the flip side, the mother's legal team is scrambling to delay and shift blame. The courtroom mood is already tense, but when the judge starts referencing late-night emails, you can feel the heat. The judge isn't here to play games. He's setting the stage for tough questioning, sharp arguments, and the kind of testimony that makes or breaks custody decisions.
I know they do DoorDash a lot, fast food. And then the last time that I was in her home, I observed mostly canned foods. They had like microwavable mac and cheese, pudding, nutritional shakes, those little applesauce packets, things of that nature. But no cooked food ever.
Okay. And so do you know anything about Sophie being on Adderall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know anything about anybody taking her Adderall?
Yes, ma'am.
And who would that be?
Sophie has told me on several occasions that Amy will take her prescription and actually take the prescription herself, and that she will sometimes give Sophie half of Amy's prescription instead.
And this is Sophie telling you all these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And so you said you've been around Ashton. Do you have any observations of Ashton responding to Miss Hewitt, how, their relationship is?
I mean, their relationship seems, I guess, normal for his, he is delayed mentally. He seems excited to see her most of the time, but he is also agitated quite a bit, but I think that's just because of whatever mental issues he has.
Okay. Based on what you are aware of as far as Sophie is concerned, what is your opinion about Sophie living with her mom at this point?
My opinion?
Do you feel like she's safe there?
No.
What about Ashton?
No.
Okay. Those are all my questions, Judge.
All right. Ms. Hewitt, you have the right to, again, ask questions. You're not required to ask questions, but if you want to ask a question, you may do so. Do you wish to ask any questions?
No,
All
sir.
right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down. You may leave, or you may have a seat in the courtroom if you like.
Thank you, Ms. Wires. Appreciate it.
Now listen carefully, because here's where it gets serious. The father's lawyer lays it all out. The kids were left without proper medical attention. We're talking no vaccinations, no appointments, nothing. The oldest daughter even developed severe skin issues and strep throat. According to testimony, the mother didn't just miss checkups. She flat out ignored urgent care needs. And in custody hearings, that's a massive red flag. The court needs evidence of responsible parenting, not excuses. And this father is ready to bring the receipts.
Ms. Hendrickson, you may call your next witness.
I'll call my client, Judge, Mr. Fenton.
Mr. Fenton, if you'll come up.
You state your name for the record, please.
Matthew Christopher Fenton.
Mr. Fenton, you heard Miss Hewitt tell the court in her opening that Ashton did not miss school, to that effect. Is that right?
Yes.
When he was still here in Oakmont Elementary?
Yes.
Okay. I handed you documents. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, the school records.
Okay. And in fact, that has a business affidavit swearing that it is business record on the first page. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
On elementary.
Okay. So if you go over to this second page, does it state that Ashton had 17 unexcused absences between September 18, 2024 to January 23, 2025?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I'd like to admit that as exhibit number 2.
Marked as Exhibit 2.
So it is not true that Ashton religiously attended school, correct?
Yes,
He had 17 unexcused absences, and that's just half of the year for last year, correct?
yes, and we
Okay.
also had Thanksgiving and Christmas break in that period, so.
Right, okay. Now, who's your employer?
Colliers Engineering and Design,
Okay, and how much is your hourly rate?
$37.50,
Okay, so and you work how many hours per week?
40 to 50, depending on the workload.
What is your routine? Is the overtime a regular thing for you?
Now it comes and goes.
It comes and goes.
But the defense fires back. They claim the father is exaggerating, twisting facts, and painting the mother as unfit. They argue that just because there were missed medical appointments doesn't mean the children were neglected. Sounds reasonable until the father's lawyer starts dropping records, dates, and doctor recommendations that were ignored for months. The courtroom is dead silent as the evidence piles up, and you can practically see the judge's patience wearing thin. The mother's credibility is slipping fast.
So would you say that 40 hours would be a correct number for your weekly hours that you put in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that amounts to about 6,000 a month, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and as I've stated to the court, if there's a child support that will be awarded against or assessed against Ms. Hewitt if the court allows our permanent parenting plan, are you agreeable to waive that child support?
Yes,
Are you able to provide for Ashton's needs?
yes,
Okay. All right, so you became the primary residential parent January of this year, is that right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then since that time, so you transferred him from Oakmont Elementary School to where?
Allen County Primary Center, that's in Scottsville, Kentucky.
Okay. And immediately thereafter, he started school, is that right?
Yes, I think it was about 2 weeks. I had to get a birth certificate and social security card and all that stuff, and then I had to get him some shots, medical attention first. But
Okay.
I think it was about 2 weeks after I got him, mid-February.
Okay. And so you talked about the medical attention. Tell the courts, what have you done so far as Ashton's medical issues?
Well, we went to the cardiologist, primary care, the dentist, eye doctors. His eye would drift. And I've taken him to the eye doctor twice, just in about a 3 or 4 month period from when I got him in February, and then 3 or 4 months later, and his eyes are already correcting themselves. They used to just completely turn in, and now they're pretty straight. I'm not sure what the difference is and how it changed, but they were talking about surgery at first. So, and the last time I took him back, they said no, that he's made a lot of progress with his eyes.
Okay. Let's go back to the cardiology. Ms. Hewitt has made a statement that she was in the process of changing cardiology. Then we find out that Ashton was supposed to have a November 2024 follow-up with Dr. Braun.
It wasn't with Dr. Bronze, but it was this.
All right, guys. Now here's the bombshell. One child's untreated illness got so bad, police had to get involved. Yeah, you heard me right. Law enforcement had to step in because a kid's medical needs weren't met. This isn't just a family squabble anymore. It's a matter of safety. The judge leans forward, asking pointed questions, and you can tell he's not buying the excuses. When police reports get dragged into a custody fight, someone's in deep trouble. And in this case, it's looking bad for Mom.
Same practice. It was Vanderbilt.
Right.
And I can't remember the other lady's name, the other doctor that he ended up seeing, but it was still the same practice when I took him in February.
Right. And so he was delayed because he didn't go until February, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Supposedly it was November.
Yes. that's right.
Tell the court about the cardiology situation. Where is he at with that?
Well, before when Miss Hewitt had taken him 2 years prior to me taking him, they said his condition was mild. And when I took him back, they said it had gotten a little bit worse, and it was mild to moderate. Instead of 2-year visits, they moved it up to every year.
Okay.
But it's a valve at the top of his heart did not form properly, and they said eventually he could have to have a heart surgery. But when it's the flap closes where it's not formed right, the blood leaks back down into his heart, and it's called the Epstein anomaly.
Okay. But currently, he does not have any restrictions as far as, physical activities and things of that nature. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
And he can play like a normal kid.
That's correct.
And all those things. Okay. And then you said that you had gotten him caught up with the ophthalmology. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is he getting physical therapy?
Yes, he's getting all that through the school, kind of like the same as Oakmont. He gets physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational, everything that they provide.
Okay. And he doesn't have any unexcused absence thus far. Is that right?
No, ma'am. He didn't have any last year, and he doesn't have any current.
Okay. And he just started the fall semester, school year. Is that right?
Yes, on August the 20th was his first day back.
Okay. And how is he responding to the new environment? Tell the court about the school situation.
Well, he's doing really, really well. The teacher called me yesterday, and she was ecstatic, and she was like, "Yeah," she said, "Matt, I had to call you."
And if you think that's where it ends, you're dead wrong. The father's team reveals how the kids were shuffled around, sometimes with random people, without notice or explanation. These aren't minor slip-ups, they're patterns of reckless behavior. The judge knows this too, and every misstep is fuel for the father's custody claim. By now, the mother's lawyer is stumbling, trying to redirect the focus, but the momentum is gone. The case is spiraling, and the courtroom tension is thick enough to cut with a knife.
She said, I was showing pictures to the class, and I was asking them, what it was, and she said it was a picture of a school, and she said all the kids were screaming and yelling, and they were like, "School, school, school." And she looked at Ashton, and she said, "Ashton, do you know what that is?" And he said, "School." And that's the first words that she's ever heard him say. And then I asked him last night as well about it when I was sitting talking to him, and he said, "School for me." Day before yesterday, he was eating some M&Ms, and when he grabbed the yellow, when he said yellow, I mean, so his vocabulary is getting better. It's not any sentences put together or anything, but he'll tell you thank you. We have taught him sign language, please and thank you, and if he wants more or stop, little stuff.
Okay.
But Miss Rachel, that show helps a lot with it as well.
Great. And so he is beginning to get better with his speech. Is that right? Slowly but surely.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is he gaining friends in the community?
Oh yeah. He has all the little kids in his class. I think there's 18 other students, and they love Ashton to death. And I took him on a field trip last year and got to see all of them interact. And
Okay. Did his social skills got better?
Oh, very much so. His ability to walk and climb, and his feet used to turn in real bad. They still do a little bit, but they're straightening out. But he runs and jumps and plays, and I don't know. He's just like every other normal kid, besides not speaking. But he's very polite, and he's on a routine schedule. He usually wakes up around 6 to 6:30 on his own every morning, and he goes to bed at 8 every night. His schedule for his meals are the same time every day. Snack time's the same time every day. He eats very well now. When he first came to live at the home, he would only eat the macaroni microwave cups, and then that was.
Here's the wild part. When cornered, the mother tries to shift blame on the father, saying he's too aggressive and overbearing. Classic defense move, right? But the judge doesn't want finger-pointing. He wants facts. So he calls for testimony from neutral witnesses, doctors, school officials, and even law enforcement. And what do they say? Almost every outside source backs the father's claims. At this point, it's becoming less of a custody debate and more of an investigation into the mother's neglect.
Basically it. He wouldn't eat anything you put in front of him. He didn't even know what cereal was. And now Ashton eats everything, especially if you're eating it. He wants some of it too. But
Okay. And so you have established a routine for him, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's pretty much used to that routine, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay. All right, and so you talked about medical, you talked about the home life. Is he getting along with, who are you living with? I'm sorry, first. Who are you living with right now?
My fiance and her daughter be Asia Wilking and Elena Reimers. Elena's 16.
Okay. And how is he getting along with, first with Asia?
Oh, he takes right to Asia. She's a very sweet and nice person, and she's fell in love with Ashton, and the same with him.
And does Asia help you with the day-to-day care for Ashton?
Yes, ma'am, very much so.
Okay. Would you look at those photos that I handed you? Do you recognize those photos?
Yes, ma'am.
You took them, right?
Yes, ma'am. Me or Asia, one of the two, or Elena.
And those photos show Ashton, his home life with you and the family. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. Judge, I would like to enter those as an exhibit
Mark
number,
Exhibit 3.
number 3. So is it fair to say that Ashton is well adjusted now in your home?
Yes,
Okay. Well adjusted with the school?
yes.
Okay. And what about, can't remember if I asked you, what about his relationship with you, with Asia's daughter, Elena?
I don't know, he really took to Elena. That's like his best friend. He follows her around
Yeah.
everywhere.
How old is Elena?
16.
16 years old.
The courtroom energy is explosive. Every new statement feels like a punch, and the audience is hanging on each word. The father stays calm, almost too calm, while the mother looks rattled. And guys, this is where strategy matters. In custody battles, the parent who looks stable usually wins. By keeping his cool, the father is scoring points with the judge. Meanwhile, the mother's team keeps objecting, interrupting, and fumbling. Instead of defending her case, they're making her look chaotic.
And in fact, you've been with Miss Asia for how many years now?
4 years.
4 years. So Elena basically looks at you like her own father. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And so, what are your concerns moving forward now that we're asking the court to make this permanent? Would you be comfortable with Ashton's spending the night at Miss Hewitt's home?
I mean, no, not after the police report that I read, and the things that the officers told me, and the cleanliness. It's not clean at all, and it was like that when I was going down for supervised visitation. There was chemicals everywhere, borax spread across the floor, and Ashton was playing in it. I mean,
Did you raise concerns to Miss Hewitt about that at the time?
yes, I sent messages
Yeah.
telling her the safety concerns and the health concerns of having those chemicals around, and she didn't seem to care too much because it stayed that way.
Yeah. Now, you heard me tell the court the days that Miss Hewitt had the visitation. So I'm gonna go over that with you. So she visited February the 7th, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then she visited February the 21st.
That's correct.
And those were the 2 days where she had refused to take Ashton back to you as ordered by the court. Is that
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And she was found in criminal contempt at that point.
Yes.
right? Okay. Following that, she did not visit for the month of March, correct?
No, ma'am. It was probably a 3 to 3.5 month gap before the next
Okay, we'll
visitation.
go over each month.
Sorry.
What about April? Did she visit in April?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What about in May? Did she visit in May? May 30?
Yeah, I think it was very.
Now comes the turning point. The judge addresses the mother directly, asking why the kid's basic needs weren't being met. Her answer? Long, emotional, and scattered. No clear explanation, no accountability. And trust me, judges hate that. The court doesn't want tears, it wants solutions. The father's lawyer seizes the moment, hammering in the idea that this isn't about punishing the mother, it's about protecting the kids. It's a masterclass in courtroom strategy, and the mother is running out of ground.
To May, because our court date was May 14th, and she did end up coming to a visitation
Okay.
shortly after that court date.
Okay. So she arrived at 6:30 instead of 4 o'clock that day. Is that right?
Yes, she said that she didn't know that the time had changed from
Okay.
6 o'clock pickup to 4, and I told her that that would be fine. You know, it's 2.5 hour drive and fighting traffic, and I was understanding and letting go.
Sure. So, and then the next visitation was in June June 13. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's 4 visitations beginning February, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then what about in July? Was there any visitation there?
No, ma'am, because the last one was last month.
The last one was August the 8th. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, that's
So-
correct.
Per my count, she visited 5 out of the 15 weekends that she could have had. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been accommodating to Miss Hewitt's circumstances?
Yes, ma'am.
And, each time she would ask for, maybe I'll be late and things of that nature, do you stay and wait for her?
Yes.
Okay. And has she continued to send you not so nice messages even then?
Not so. I mean, not as bad as what it was, but she's
Okay.
very demanding and gets upset when she doesn't get her way, even though she's not following the court order. And I'm still trying to be very understanding for Ashton's sake and want him to see his mother for sure.
Right. And was there a day in May where she had told you that she's coming and that was not her day?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
she demanded that she was coming, that she hadn't got to see him, and it didn't matter if it was her weekend or not, that she should get to see him. And we had plans, of course.
And that's against the court's order, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so we have prepared an
So what happens next? The judge lays down the law. He makes it crystal clear that the children's health and stability come first. Temporary custody leans toward the father, with strict conditions for the mother. She'll need supervised visits, medical compliance, and no excuses. The room is tense. Nobody celebrates in cases like this. But there's a sense of relief, like a heavy weight finally lifted. The kid's well-being is secure, at least for now.
amended parenting plan. And I will show this to you.
Thank you.
Okay, and so we're asking that you continue to be the primary residential, right?
Yes.
And we have, because we're asking that for now, no overnight visits because of the concerns, we put 0 on moms, and then yours was 365, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then for mom's day-to-day schedule, she would have Friday beginning at 5 to 8 p.m.
Yes.
And then Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Correct.
And are you asking the court that her residential time just take place within, is it Allen County there in
Yes, ma'am.
Allen County in Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so this would apply to the day-to-day schedule, is that right?
Yes.
And then for the summertime, you would ask for 2 consecutive weeks, the first and second months of the summer.
Yes.
Okay. And then for transportation, you would ask that the mother pick up and return to you after her visitation
Correct.
to your residence. Okay. And you're asking the court to maintain the exclusive major decision-making on all the issues, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We have you down as your income as 6,000 there, okay? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And did we receive any documentation from Ms. Hewitt about her income
No, ma'am.
from her lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so we're asking the court to adopt the regulation imputation, which is 2,995, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when we plug that in the child support sheet, it would obligate Ms. Hewitt to pay you $448 per month. Is that right?
Yes.
And if the court approves this, are you waiving that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I think I asked you that in the beginning. Apologize. Okay. And the reason for the deviation would be because of the travel that's imposed to Ms. Hewitt. Is that right?
Yes.
And you want to facilitate her visitation with Ashton.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're able to provide for Ashton's needs anyways with your own income. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to continue to provide the insurance for Ashton, correct?
That's correct.
And you're asking to be able to claim him for tax purposes?
Yes.
Okay. And you, I believe that's the major components of that. I would ask that to be entered as an exhibit, Judge. And that has a child support worksheet as well, if that's
Mark it as
adopted.
Exhibit 4.
This part of it, Ellen, or did I get an extra page?
Yeah, you keep that together and hand it to the clerk. I believe I went over all the issues. Do you have any other concerns about this parenting plan that you would like to tell the judge?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's all the questions I have, Judge.
Ms. Hewitt, again, you have the right to ask questions. I'm going to give you the chance to testify. Do you have questions for this witness?
No.
Thank you, then. You may step down.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. This case wasn't just about custody. It was about responsibility, accountability, and what it really means to be a parent. The courtroom exposed the cracks, the failures, and the raw emotions of a family at war. But at the end of the day, the judge made a call that put the kids first. And that's the takeaway here. In the chaos of legal battles, the children should never be the collateral damage. Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and keep watching.